Hello and welcome to the second video of making a WordPress Valentine's Day plugin. If you missed the first video or you didn't make the code for it, the code can be found, or the code that we created in the first video can be found in the description below. So the first thing that I want to do is just have a quick demonstration of the plugin that we'll be making. So this is the plugin that we'll be making during this project. If we log in and go into the back end, we'll be changing the settings or the data for the plugin in the settings. So we're going to be figuring out how to add data in the settings folder. We'll be able to change the title, change the animations, so maybe from rotating to fading, and change the number of hearts that we have. So again, let's have a look at what it can look like once we save it. And so again, the animation is slightly changed and the hearts are appearing randomly. So that's the kind of thing that we'll be making in this project. So in this video, the main aim is to add the CSS and JavaScript files to our code. So to do this, our tasks today are adding a number of actions using these hooks to add our CSS and JavaScript code. We're going to be adding an action to register our widget. We're going to be linking these actions to methods, and then we're going to be creating a CSS and a JavaScript file in our folders. We're not going to be writing anything in them in this video. We're just going to make sure that it's linked all together. So these are the 5 tasks. What I suggest is, if you think you can do them by yourself, if you think, oh, that looks easy, give it a go, try it by yourself, and then compare your work to mine. If you're looking at, for example, the keyword action, which is an important word, or hook, and you don't know what it means, these are really important concepts in WordPress development. So I've made another video on action, hooks, and filters, and I'll put this in the links below. So if you're struggling with these tasks, I would look at that video because it will help you a lot. Before we start, I thought it would be a good idea to look at an abstracted version of my plugin. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be creating the plugin object, and this plugin object is going to have some attributes and some methods. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making the methods for our JavaScript and CSS, so they are linked together. So what will happen today is we're going to be creating things to link this plugin to the CSS and the JavaScript, and we're also going to be creating the method to link our plugin object with the widget object. Now, we're not going to create any functionality with anything yet, but we're just going to make sure everything links together. Okay, so hopefully you've tried to do the tasks by yourself. Let's do them quickly. So this is the code that we created last lesson. We have our class, we have our constructor. If you didn't make this code and you want it, you can click in the links below to get it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 methods to be linked to our hook. So I'm going to create the first method, and it's going to be scripts. And I'm going to create the second method, and it's going to be reg_widg. So the scripts one will contain all my scripts that I want to add to my plugin. So this is going to be, for like example, CSS and JavaScript. But if you had more, you could easily just add it here, and that's one of the benefits of OOP, is it's so structured and easy to kind of figure out where things go. So the regwidge function is just going to register our widget. Okay, so we have done the first one. Okay, for the second task, I'm going to create the style CSS and main JavaScript file. So we need to go to the Explorer and just add a new file in there. So it doesn't have to be anything for now. So we've got CSS, and then the JavaScript one. Let's add a new file. Let's call it main.js. Okay, so we've done the task 4 now. Okay, so the next task that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing task 1 and 2. So in the constructor, in this bit here, so remember the constructor is the first thing that gets called and is automatically executed. We're going to be putting an action, and this action will link our methods up with the correct hook. So if you don't understand what a hook is, it's such an important concept in WordPress development. I would suggest you look at my video action filters and hooks, and it will help you get a better understanding of how WordPress works. So what we are going to do in our constructor is we're going to add 2 actions. So the first action links our code. So our code is the array. Now we have to put an array because we need to point directly where our method is. So we're using this class, which for this it's just referring to heart. So it's saying go to heart, and in heart go to the script method. And because there's 2 values there, we have to put it in an array, because this WordPress add action can only handle 1 value. So we need to put the keyword array, then this, and then the name of our method, which is script, not scripts. This is the hook that we're attaching our scripts to, and for the second one, the registering the widget, this is the hook that we're adding our method to register our widget. Okay, so we finished our task 1, so that we can tick this off. We finished task 2, and now what we need to do is we need to use these 2 WordPress methods to add our scripts. So we go into the script method, and we need to add those WordPress methods there. So the style will be the one that kind of is attached to the CSS, and the script is the one that's attached to the JavaScript one. So if we look here, the first value for both of them is just the handler. So it's just the way that the WordPress behind the scenes will label your script. So you don't need to worry about it too much. The second one is the important one. This tells us where we're attaching our script to, where is that file. So I've used the plugin URL just to help me fill out the majority of the pathway, and then I've just added the path to my file. Same with my JavaScript. The array here, now because in my in this plugin I'm using jQuery rather than just normal JavaScript, I've added this just to tell WordPress that I'm going to be writing jQuery JavaScript code within that folder, not just normal JavaScript. However, if you were going to write normal JavaScript, you can just get rid of that and that will be fine. However, we're using, again, like I said, jQuery in this plugin, so I'm going to keep that. Okay, so before we stop the video, because we finished our 5 tasks, I want you to ask yourself these questions. So these is the key information from this video. If you can answer all these 4 questions, you've got the information and you don't need to worry. So pause the video and see if you can answer these questions. So hopefully you've stopped the video. Let's see if you got the answers right. So what is the hook for adding our code to when we want to register a widget? So hopefully you've put widgets in it or initialize. So remember, when we want to do this, we have to use the method add action, and then the first value is our hook. This is where we're attaching our code. So we need to, when we want to register a widget, we need to register it at the widgets init. Do remember, this doesn't actually do anything. What this does is it's attaching our code, our method here, onto this this hook. So whatever we write in here, that is the functionality. What are the 2 steps for adding a CSS file? First, we need to create we need to add an action, and we need to attach our method or our code to this hook. So remember, the first value is the hook. Once we've done that, in that method we need to add another WordPress method, the style, and then we need to just attach. It can be labeled. The first label is the handle name. It can be anything you want, and attach the pathway of our CSS file. So they are the 2 methods. What is the keyword for creating an action? Well, it's add action. So that's the keyword. In OOP, how do we attach our method to an action? Well, we need to make sure that we put it in an array, because all of these methods here, for the place that we put our code here, that only accepts 1 value. But because we're using OOP, we have to have 2 values. We have to have the actual class itself, which would be hearts, and then we would have to have the name of the method. So we need to put array to add these 2 values together. So that's the end of the video. Thank you very much. Hopefully we've completed our task, so we're now able to add the CSS and JavaScript files to our WordPress plugin. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. So if you think we've accomplished our objectives, leave a comment. If you think there is any way that I can improve these videos, let me know. And if you're interested in seeing how we continue making this plugin, subscribe, and I will keep you updated with my videos. So thank you very much.